The Chess Turk, also known as Schach-Türke, as it was called by its German-speaking inventor Wolfgang von Kempelen, was a seemingly robot-like machine that was constructed in 1769. It represented an early type of chess computer and received tremendous popularity during the following decades. The automaton had about the size and the appearance of an executive desk, encased by wooden planks and doors under which a clockwork-like machine could be seen. The Chess Turk was mainly demonstrated in big shows. Before a match started, operators like von Kempelen himself often convinced their audiences that there was no human inside by opening these doors. Behind the desk sat a puppet, looking like a stereotypical Turk in oriental clothes that had a movable head, movable eyeballs, a chess-playing left hand that was capable of grabbing and moving chessmen precisely, and a right hand that even started to impatiently tap the tabletop if the opponent's turn took too long. Chess matches had been played against a long list of extremely popular persons like the French Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte, Benjamin Franklin, Paul I of Russia, and Friedrich II, also known as Frederick the Great. The Chess Turk defeated them all, and even seemingly angrily quit a game against Napoleon by knocking down the chess pieces, since the emperor tried to cheat for several times. Obviously, Napoleon was impressed by this reaction. There were only a few matches the Chess Turk couldn't win. The componist and best chess player of the time, François-André Danican-Philidor, was one of the few people who managed to beat the mysterious machine and caused to alter the image of the superhuman mechanics. Many speculations about the system inside were made. Some people believed a Polish disabled veteran who lost his legs during war actually lied inside and controlled the puppet. Edgar Allan Poe believed a human had enough space to move around inside the hole, so the audience wouldn't see him during the presentation. Poe thought that when it was the Turk's turn, that human would move his or her head into the belly of the puppet to gain control of it. There were even people who believed that instead of a human, the machine was controlled by a trained monkey. To understand why the machine was so good at what it was doing, you have to take a look at two different aspects of the machine. First of all, it was no coincidence that the puppet was designed as a, in the Western world very uncommonly seen, traditional Oriental person. Wolfgang von Kempelen tried to make use of the human subconscious that makes the player more nervous and inattentive when dealing with unfamiliar cultures and people in unfamiliar situations. Secondly, even though von Kempelen probably wasn't aware of it, he made great use of the so-called uncanny valley. In other words, the puppet's look and moves are scary and therefore make people feel uncomfortable. The uncanny valley is a hypothesis that states the more human-like an object becomes, while still obviously being inanimate, the more unlikable is the impression on real humans. This impression gets even worse if the object starts to move. Most people, for example, would be quite scared of a decayed human corpse, but pretty much everyone would run away screaming if that corpse would stand up and turn into a zombie. Besides the intimidating look of the automaton, probably the main reason why the Turk was so good at chess is that the person who sat inside the box was such a good chess player. It took more than 60 years to finally disclose the secret of this amazing machine. At the time the Turk became popular, an extremely talented chess player had great issues when trying to earn money with playing chess. Today there are at least big championships that offer quite enormous prize money, but at that time things were different. A chess-playing machine would have even over-trumped Leonardo da Vinci's walking lion, or Jacques de Vaucanson's eating and digesting duck. Therefore, of course, people were more interested into a mechanical chess master than into a human one, and so it was a great chance for chess players to earn money and a reason to keep the secret. It turned out that there actually was enough space inside the desk for a healthy grown-up human being. And as Edgar Allan Poe supposed, the chess player was moving through the machine when it was presented to the audience by opening one little door after the other. The empty space was overlaid by gear wheels on different parts of the clockwork, which really worked but didn't serve any other function. Nevertheless, the Chess Turk still was an amazing machine, since it was able to convert the human player's moves extremely accurately. This was possible because of the very detailed pantographs. Pantographs are constructions that imitate movings. The player inside the box probably used some kind of glove that was attached to those pantographs. The chessboard itself was magnetic. Underneath the tabletop, the human inside the machine was able to see the chess pieces moving around, and therefore could react depending on their current positions. A chimney was hidden inside the puppet's head that unsuspiciously released smoke caused by the player's oil lamp. The right hand, the eyes and the head of the puppet could be moved by pulling strings and switches. After the secret was disclosed, people started to lose interest until there were only few working Chess Turks left. Today, mostly broken Chess Turks and machines of similar appearances like fortune teller automatons sometimes can be seen in curiosity shops and museums. 2 known Chess Turks have been reconstructed and are currently located in Los Angeles and in Paderborn, Germany, where it is exhibited in the Museum Heinz Nixdorf Museumsforum of Computer Technology.